Yes, let us start. I hope you should have received a file. Mr. Bala would have sent a file, maybe a zip file. Correct? This zip file. You would have received this zip file, Microsoft Excel exercise. Please unzip that file, extract that file. Maybe in the mail itself, I would have told what is the steps for unzipping or extracting the file. Don't open that file straight away. Download the file. He would have sent a file. That file name is Microsoft Exercise. That's the file he would have sent. I think he would have sent that file called as Microsoft Exercise. Download it. Download that file. Download that file, and what you do is after downloading, right click on the file, extract it, extract that file, right click and extract it and put it in a folder. Please do not open that file straight away. It will show you read only. You cannot use anything. You cannot create a pivot. You can create, after that you cannot save it. So please be careful before using it. Unzip that file, where we can see there are several files available: sheets, files, tables, CSV, text files. Today and tomorrow we are going to do how to combine the files, how to consolidate the file, how to use the text file, how to use the CSV file, Excel file, everything. Please unzip that file. Okay? Done? Everyone has unzipped it? Sir? Extract all and put it in a separate folder. Put it in a separate folder. Don't have it in the same folder. Put it in some other folder, separate folder. Okay? Done? Everyone? After unzipping, please open that first file 01 pivot. There is a first file called as 01 pivot. Please do open that file. 01 pivot. Please open the file called as 01 pivot. Okay? So I have opened that file 01 pivot. It's already available. Yes, where I can see 6 sheets. Okay? Zero one pivot. Okay? Where you should get 6 sheets. Ask someone to send them. Ask them to send it through a mail, Outlook, through mail. One minute. Ask someone to send a mail. Yeah? Done? Yes. Right. So hope most of you has downloaded that file and extracted the file. After extracting, after opening, since it's a file from online, it will ask you to enable a content. If it is asking to enable, please enable it. I didn't download it. I have the file already, so it's not asking for enabling. But when you are downloaded, it asks you to enable the content. Please enable it. Okay. I hope no need for introduction about Excel. Most of you knows about what are all the options available in Excel. I think no need for introduction. Straight away, I think we can start with the pivot table, because as I told, power pivots and power queries is a very important tool to create a report in Excel. What is the tool we use to create a report in Excel? The tool which we use to create a report in Excel is pivot. But could you tell me, based on how many tables can we create a pivot? Based on how many tables can we create a pivot? Any idea? One table? Two tables? Minimum two. That means maximum. I have two tables. Tell me, how can I create a report based on these two tables? I am selecting this table. Okay. This also. No, no, you want to select this table. A and B. Why? Why A and B only? Because this table is column, sir. That is column. I told you table. This is a table. Correct. This is another table. Column is different. A, B, C, D are a column, sir. Column. Tables. So, tell me, based on how many tables can we create a pivot? To be open, you can create a table based on pivot based on only one table. You can create a report based on only one table. You cannot create a report based on multiple tables. Then we have to use one more tool called as Power Pivot. Now the data are accumulating. We'll have lakhs and million, billion, trillions of data. You can have your global data, entire company data, you can have it in one location. Correct? Nowadays, everything is in clouds. Million, billions of data we can have it in one table. When you download the data, for example, in Excel, I don't know whether you use the Excel. In Excel, if you download the data, maybe more than 1 lakh, just apply a sorting, just apply a filtering. It will not work. Your system will rotate. It will be very, very slower, but the data will accumulate. And I will get the data from multiple sheets, multiple branches, multiple files, multiple locations. Daily I download some data. Every day, every month I will download some data. I cannot copy the data and paste it. I want to consolidate all the reports. I want to write a lookup function. I want to write a if function. Everything we are going to use another tool called as Power Query. Combination of these three tools, Microsoft has now recently 11 years before 2015, 29 of June, they have created a software called as Power BI. What is BI? So BI has started from here. So basis from Excel. From Excel only BI has been evaluated. So if you know BI, if you want to use in BI, you have to learn this concept, pivot, power pivots and power query. If you are well versed in power pivots and power query, that means you are almost nearing to Power BI. BI stands for business intelligence. Two I's are very popular nowadays. One is AI and BI, artificial intelligence, BI, business intelligence. After BI, you have to go to Power App and you have to go to Power Automate. That's all next tools. Since you are all using Microsoft 365, I think Power App and Power Automate are free tool. Power Automate, most of the things can be automated nowadays. Most of the things can be automated. Okay, so that's the next level. After Excel, Power Pivot, Power Query, you have to go to Power BI, and then Power BI, after that Power App, then you have to go to Power Automate. If time permits, I will explain what is Power App and Power Automate also. Okay, this is our hierarchy. So first we will start with Pivot. Where is this Power Pivot and Power Query? It's a separate software. I have to install it. No. This software is inbuilt along with Microsoft Excel. This application is available from 2010 of Microsoft Excel. 2010 la irundhu indha options irukku. 2013, 2010 it was add-ins. 2016, they made it as a part of Excel itself. It means it is available from 2010. Still, we are not using 16 years. You are not using this power pivots and power queries. So at least from today, start using power pivots and power. Never be late. Already we have wasted 16 years. Further, you should not waste another things. So the power pivots and power queries is available from 2010 of Microsoft. So let us start with pivot. Then we'll see how to use this power pivots and power queries also. So I'll come back to my file. I have around 6 sheets. Let us come to the sheet number 1. In sheet number 1, I have some table columns. In table, I have some column: sales region, vehicle type, part number, commodity group, material cost, and conversion cost, and overhead cost, net sales price, and I have contribution margin. This table, I want to convert this table into a report. You can ask me what is the purpose, what is the usage of converting this into a report. This data looks very good. Data, it's a very good data. Why do I convert this into a reporting tool? I want to know which region has more sales. I want to know which region has more margins. You cannot arrive at this table. This is a simple plain table. I cannot take any decision based on this table. To take a decision, you have to convert this as a report. To convert this as a report, we are going to use this tool called as pivot. Okay. So let us convert this into a report. Before converting into a report, first of all, either place the cursor on the table or select the entire table. Either place the cursor on the table or select the entire table. Could you tell me what is the easiest and simplest way to select the entire table? Control A. Okay. Control A. But there is a small disadvantage in Control A. Knowingly, unknowingly, if you are selected if you are pressing Control A twice, it may select the entire. Small disadvantage. You can use Control A. Small table, you can go for it. Larger table, I don't recommend Control A. Is there any other method other than Control A? Control Shift Arrow. For that, first of all, you have to go to the very first cell, correct? Then you have to press Control Shift right arrow, Control Shift down arrow. Very good. But as I told, first you have to go to the very first cell and then select it. Second disadvantage is, suppose I have some empty cell in between. Control Shift right and Control Shift down. It will stop before the empty cell. So that's a small disadvantage in this Control Shift right arrow or arrow marks. Any other methods to select the entire table? Control Shift space. It's equivalent to Control A. Control Shift space. Unknowingly, I am pressing Control Shift space twice. Same thing will happen. Control A and Control Shift space bar is similar. Control Alt D. Alt D. எல்லாமே மினிமைஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு சார் ஏதோ நடக்குது Control Alt D கூட பண்ண முடியாது. You cannot use Control Alt D also. Magnifier தான் வந்துச்சு. The best method to select the entire table is or 8. Select keyboard Control asterisk. You can use Control asterisk straight away. If you have the number pad, you can use the Control asterisk. If you don't have the number pad, you have to press Control Shift 8. That's the best method to select the entire table. So if you want to select the entire table, the best method is Control Shift 8 or Control asterisk. Control asterisk or Control Shift 8 is the best method to select the entire table. Control Shift 8 or Control asterisk. then that's not a table. Nothing. Yes. Even control shift has to control A, control shift any none shortcut key. Even if you convert it as a table, even you import it as a table, nothing will work. If you don't have the empty row, your table will stop there. Don't have the empty row. Empty row means your table is over. Empty row, empty cell is okay. Empty row you should not have. Okay, the best method to select the entire table. Even the cells are empty, that will get selected. Control Shift 8. I press Control Shift 8 one time, two time, three time, four time, five time, six time. Still, it is selecting only the table. It's not coming out of my table. Correct? That's the best method to select the entire table. So, either place the cursor on the table or select the entire table. Then, better to create a pivot. Before creating a pivot, you should know three important conditions. Condition number 1. No merged cells in between. You should not have any merged cells in between. That's a condition number 1. Condition number 2. Table should have a heading. Your table should have a heading. Condition number 2. Condition number 3. Heading should be unique. Your heading should be unique. No merged cells in between. Table should have a heading. Heading should be unique. Could you tell me what? No merged cells, I think most of you knows this. Table should have a heading also, okay. Heading should be unique. What is the meaning for that? What is the meaning? Same heading should not be repeated. Okay, very good. So, at least I can find my table is having a heading or not. That's okay. Heading is unique. Somewhat I can find it out whether the heading is unique or not. But there is a merged cells, no merged cells. How do I find it? Whether there is a merged cells or not, or heading is repeated or not. How do I find it normally? Any idea? If there is any merged cells in between, I want to know whether there is a merged cells or not. How can I find it whether there is a merged cells or not? Any idea? No. Oh, try to create a table, it will show you a warning message. Select the table. You have to select this table. This merge has been activated. We know merge cells. So that will know where merge cells is there. How do you find where is that merge cells? For example, there is a merge cell somewhere else here. So what you are saying is if I select the sheet or table, it will say the merge cell is activated. Correct? But where is that merge cells? I have thousands and lakhs of rows and columns. How do I find out the merge cells? So before creating any reports, or before you are sharing a file, before sending a files to others, please do verify this. What you have to verify is, please do these 2 steps. When you are creating a PowerPoint presentation, you have to check whether your spelling mistake, grammatical mistake is okay. Similarly, before sending a file, before a presentation or before creating a report, please do these 2 things. What is the 2 things is? First is check the accessibility, whether your table is having a heading, whether there is a merged cells, whether the sheet name is correct, whether the coloring, everything is correct. So go to the tab called as review. There is a tab called as review. Go to the tab of review. Under the review tab, you can see there is a button available called as check accessibility. Check accessibility. Go to the review tab. Under review tab, you have to click on the check accessibility. Click on that check accessibility. I click on the check accessibility. On the right hand side, it will say looks good, no issue found. Then you can proceed. If there is heading is not correct, if there is a missing text, if the table heading is missing, if there is a merged cells, if there is a default sheet name, then it will show you some error. For example, wantedly specific I am going to try just for example. After that, I will undo that. For example, in between somewhere else, I am selecting some 2 or 3 cells. Wantedly, I am merging these 2 or 3 cells. Merge. Now, let us go to the review tab and let us click on this check accessibility. Keep going, but fix the remaining issue to the document. There is some issue in your document. Where is that issue headed that's avoiding? That's okay, but there is a issue in your table. There is a merged cells on your table. One merged cells is there on your table. So where is this merged cells? Just click on that merged cells. It automatically places my cursor on the merged cells. What is the solution for this? Use the merged cells and make this into split cells. Unmerge it. So then you can unmerge that cells. So like this, whenever you find any problem like this merging, table heading is not correct, then please check this accessibility. So before creating a report, before sending the file to others, please check the accessibility of your file. Dayavu senji accessibility check பண்ணுங்க before sending the files to others. Okay. Table. Place the cursor anywhere. I have wantedly merged some cells, sir. In the table, if you merge somewhere else, then there is no error. In some table, wantedly I selected some cells and merged it some cells. Sir, yes. If the heading on top, those two, then it will not treat this as heading, it will treat this as heading. Then also, it will detect it. It will detect. This too. But normally, then it will treat this as a heading. Then it will treat this as a heading. After that, it will treat this as a heading. That's a problem. Better to heading duplicate. We'll see. This you have to check. And one more you have to check before the accessibility is okay. Just to check your colors, just check whether the merged cells are there and whether the sheet name is correct. So these are all the things. But next important thing is sometimes, just for example, now I will go to some column here. And how do I go to the very last cell of my data? How do I go to the very last cell? For example, I'll go to some sheet. I want to go to the very last cell of this data. How do we go to the very last cell of this data? Control end. I can press control end. Some keyboards you have to press control function end. Control end or control function end. It will go to the very last cell. Perfect. It's going to very last cell. That is fine. But sometimes what will happen is we are using Excel not only for analyzing the data, we are using Excel for everything. Just to type some data, just to enter some value, just to note your phone number, mobile number, we are using the Excel. So for example, in column number P, I'm just going here and I'm typing something in column number P, enter. Within few seconds, I deleted it also. I'm deleting it within few seconds. I'm deleting the value. So I entered some value and I deleted some value also. Now if I press control end, unfortunately, my table is ending at column number. So it is considering LMNOP also as your part of the table. That's why you would have seen sometime your data is very less. Your file size is very large. Data romba kammiya irukkum, file size too large because we are not deleting it properly. We think that we have deleted, we are not deleting it properly. Here it's okay, here it's not a very big problem. But sometimes when you did some conditional formatting, you did some formula, we think that we have deleted it, but it's not deleted. we assume that I am writing some formula here. Some formula here. I am writing some other formula in column number R. Just I am writing some formula. Some formula here. I am writing some formula. And later I do something here and I copy something here and I delete this. And I'm thinking that I have deleted this. Now you can see it ends at R. Not a P end actually, now it's ending at R. Because it's treating this also as a part of your table. This is the reason your system is becoming very slow. Your file size is becoming very slow here. So how to solve this? In older version, no other go. I think you are all using the latest version, I believe so. But how do we check the version? First we'll check the, I thought of, I think we have seen this in earlier session itself, no problem. We'll check now. Open Office button called as File. Just go to File. Just click on that file. Under File, last but one, Account. If you go to File, there is an option called as Account. Go to File and click on Account. If your account is not visible, if you are not able to see the account on your screen, then go to More. Under More, you can see the account is available. Correct? So just click on that account. On the right hand side, you can see, of course, I believe you are all using Microsoft 365. But the important thing I want to know from your side is the version. Yes. So this version I want to know from your side. What is the version? 512. All are using 2512. Any changes? No updations. 2602 is the latest one. 2602 is the latest one. No worries. Not a very big change in Excel. Not a very big change in Power Pivots and Power Queries. The changes has happened in some other like PowerPoint and Outlook. There is some changes in 2602. Not a very big change in Excel. So never mind. 2512 is okay. So you are all using 2512. Then this option should be available. Go to the Review tab again. Go to the Review tab again. And there is an option available. Check performance. Check performance. So just go to the Review tab. Under Review tab, click on Check performance. Yes. It says there is some problem in the... Before that, let me save this file again. I'm just a Control S. I'm saving the file because after this I made some changes. Check performance. And I think there is only one problem in sheet number 4. Here we don't have a problem, a very big problem here. But there is a small problem in sheet number 4. There is a small problem in sheet number 4. So review this sheet and optimize it. You can check and optimize or straight away can optimize also. So there are totally 1,42,908 cells used. Out of that, 7,140 cells has to be optimized. There is some problem in this. I would have written some formula, I would have written something, I didn't delete it properly. So let me go to the EX04. Just click on this EX04. And it says L11 to L7510, we have some problem. So go to that L11 to L15, just click it. Yes. So yesterday or day before, I would have entered some formula or something in this. Then I didn't delete this properly. That's why this entire data. Here, early session, I had only 3 or 4 cells. That's not a very big problem. But here, more than 7,000 rows, there are some problems here. That's why it's saying you have to clean up this. How do we clean up this? Optimize sheet. Optimize sheet. So this sheet, I have a problem. Optimize it. Optimization. Whenever your system is hanging, rotating, or when you create a pivot, it's throwing some error, not enough space or something, then please check this work performance and optimize it. Only the empty cells and empty data will get deleted. Now your data, nothing will happen to your data. Don't worry, nothing will happen. There is a data available, it will not delete your data. On the empty cells, unwanted formulas, unwanted cells, that will get deleted. Optimize sheet, yes. The worksheet is optimized. Now let me check it again. Go to review and I click on check performance. No optimization required. Nothing to be optimized in this workbook. This workbook is clean. Whenever you find any problem, any sheet, any system slower, or your file size is larger, please optimization. Okay. So before creating any pivot table, please check two things. First one is check accessibility. Second one is check the performance. Clear on this? Any question, doubts? Because today or tomorrow we are going to export this data to Power Pivots and Power Queries. Before exporting, it's always better to optimize it and export it. No need for converting it as a table or dynamic table. That's not required for Power Pivots and Power Queries. Maybe for Power App and Power Automate, it may be required. Power Queries and Power Query Pivot, it's not required. Your table to be converted as a dynamic table. Or even if you have the empty rows and empty columns, also never mind. Power Query will take care of it. But the optimization is very important. Optimize your files and sheets. All the performance also for all the sheet. So when you check it, it will check with their entire workbook, total workbook. Okay. And this session is going to be 100% practical. Gradually, we'll go to the next level of this Power Pivots, Power Queries, and Pivot. First, what we are going to do is we have a table: sales region, vehicle, part number, commodity group, material cost and conversion cost, overhead cost, net profit, and contribution margin. Now we are going to create a small report. What is the report we are going to create? Is sales region wise and vehicle wise, region wise and vehicle wise. We want to convert what is the sum of material cost, sum of conversion cost, sum of overhead cost, sum of net sales price, and sum of contribution margin. We have to convert all this into sum of region wise and vehicle wise, sum of all this table. So that's what we are going to do in our next session. We'll see in depth of the pivot. We'll see how to make a dashboard, how to make a slicers, how to make a timeline, yearly, monthly report, combining of the report, splitting of the report, aging analysis. So many concepts are available in pivot. We have to see one by one. But I think he has showed the schedule time is 11:15 for our break. So it's 11:14. So 1 minute. Any other doubts to be clarified, or we'll go for a break now? Yes. That will numbering means. That system will not check. You have to manually check. If you want to sum of this column should be in a number format. But don't worry. That will be taken care by Power Queries. Data type, everything will be taken care by Power Query. Today evening or tomorrow morning, we are going to see that. If you did once, it will be automatically done for your entire data. Only once. Next time download from SAP, it takes automatically. That's what we are going to learn today and tomorrow using Power Query. Okay. So shall we go for a short break? So please, I recommend everyone to please stick on with the timings because we have to cover so many concepts. Yes. Last session we have seen only the introduction and we have seen the pivot, how to create a pivot. Before creating pivot, what is the condition? So two things has to be checked before creating the pivot. One is the check performance and another one the check accessibility. Either place the cursor on the table or select the entire table. The easiest or best method to select the entire table is Control Shift 8 or asterisk. So place the cursor on the table. Now we are going to create a report. This sales region wise, vehicle wise, sales region wise, vehicle wise, we want to find out what is the sum of material cost, conversion cost, overhead cost, net sales profit, and this contribution margin. We want to sum of all these 5 columns based on the region wise and vehicle wise. That's a report we are going to create. Place the cursor on the table or select the entire table. Go to the tab called as Insert. Just go to the tab of Insert. Under the Insert tab, If you are 100% sure that we are going to use this table as my pivot, straight away you can click on the pivot here. Straight away you can click on the pivot. Or we have furthermore option. There is a arrow mark available below the pivot. There are three options available: from the table or a range, from external data source, from data model. This is Power Query and Power Pivot. By default, now it's deactivated, it is graded out. So we are going to use this later, not now. Not now, you will be using this later. So one is this table or a range, second one is external data, SAP, ERP, Oracle, or third one is this your Power Pivots and Power Query. If you are using Power BI, you will have one more option here, from Power BI, correct? If you are using Power BI, I don't know whether you are all using Power BI here. If you are using Power BI, you will get four options there. One more option from Power BI. Normally, people will not create a report from Power BI to Excel. In the reverse, actually. Excel table will do it in Power BI, not Power BI table in Excel. That normally people will not do. So that's why that option is not now available in my system. So let us go to pivot and click on the first one, from table or a range. Or straight away click here. If you are 100% sure you are going to create it based on this table, so you can click on the table or a range, or straight away you can click on the pivot table, whichever is easier. So let me click on this pivot table. When I click on the pivot table, a new dialog box is opening here and it's asking, select the table or a range. Select the table or a range. Yes, my table or a range is automatically selected. My table or a range is automatically selected. If it is not selected, please select it. I think it's already selected. Second one, new worksheet or a existing worksheet. Where you want to place this table, whether you want to place the table on a new sheet or you want to place it on the same existing sheet. New sheet means what Excel will do is it will create a sheet before that current sheet. Always Excel will work on the concept of before. Correct? When you insert a row, where the row will be inserted, it will be inserted before the current row. Column before the current column. Same like if you insert a sheet, it will be inserted before the current sheet. If I select new sheet, but if I select the existing sheet and I say OK, it is throwing a error. Why? You have to select the area. Which area you want it. If you want it in the same sheet, you can just click on the same sheet. If you want it in some other sheet, first you have to select the sheet, then you have to select the location. Select the sheet and select the location. Okay. But now, as of now, we'll go with the new sheet. Probably in the next session, while creating the dashboard, we'll see how to use the existing sheet also. Now let us go with the new sheet. So I'm going to select new sheet. That's it. And choose whether you want to analyze multiple table. This is power pivoting. Multiple table, using using a data model, you can create a report. As of now, please don't select this option. As of now, do not select this option as of now. Don't select it. If you are selecting this option, some feature may not work now. So select panna sele feature work, so please do not select it. So I will tell you when we can select this. Select panna, we'll see it in the later part. Now please do not select it. So just what we are, if it is already selected also, please remove the selection. Please remove it. If it is selected also, please remove it. Because some feature may not work if you have selected this. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to click on OK. Yes. So let me click on OK. What has happened? It has created a new sheet. On the new sheet on the left hand side, this is the area where we are going to create a pivot. On the right hand side, pivot table fields are available. I will explain what is this field and what is this options available. And you can see now two contextual tab are available. Two contextual, you can see on the top. Two tabs are appearing. This is called as name of this is contextual. Contextual tab. This home insert are all just tab. These are all called as tab. These are all fixed. This will not change. Whereas this contextual tab will change. When you insert a chart, you will get a different tab here. Correct? When you insert a pivot, I am getting analyze and design. When you insert a slicer, you will get a different tab. When you insert a table, you will get a different tab. This tab will keep on changing. That's why the name of the tab is called as contextual tab. But if you are not able to see the name of this tab, that means your cursor is not in pivot, your cursor is outside the pivot. If you place the cursor outside the pivot, then the contextual tab may not be visible. So it should be visible. Then this pivot table fields, if you are knowingly, unknowingly closed it, if you are knowingly, unknowingly closed it, I want it back. Our regular habit is that whenever a new menu open, our first habit is to close it. That புது menu வந்தாலே நம்ம முதல் வேலை இதை க்ளோஸ் பண்றது தான் கரெக்ட்டா. Our hand will go to escape and you close it immediately. But today, from today, don't do it. A new menu is opening, please explore it. Right click, show field list. There is an option called as show field list. So that now this field list will appear here. So if you have closed it unknowingly, right click, show field list. Okay. Let me explain what are all the options available here. First one, you can see all your columns are available. These are all your column headings. Filter. What is this filter? I told you next level of Excel is Power BI. After moving from Excel, you have to go to Power BI. One option which is available in Excel, which is not available in Power BI. It is available in Excel, but it's not available in Power BI is this feature. Filtering. What is this filtering? Splitting multiple reports. If you want to create a multiple reports, one click I want to create hundreds of reports. I have 100 customer. I want to send the report to all the 100 customer. I have 1,000 employees. I want to send the report to all the 1,000 employees. Then we can use this multiple filters. Okay. Column label. This column label is used for comparison of your data. If you want to compare the data last year, this year, you want to compare what is my sales, what is my production, and one customer to another customer, one product to another product, I want to compare. Then we can go for column label. Row label. To create a normal report, to create a row-wise report, to create a normal or to create a row-wise report, we can go for these rows. I think we are going to start with rows today. Today we are going to start with rows. The last one, there is something called as sigma values. What is sigma value? Sigma value is for? What for we use the sigma values? Summarize. Summarizing means what it means. We have to find out the sum of it. Summarize means sum. A report summary will have only the sum function. We can have a count, we can have an average, we can have a maximum, minimum, subtraction, division. Anything can be there in summary. Summarize means whichever you want to aggregate it, whichever you want to summarize it. That should be on sigma. Last, there is one more option available here. Deferred layout update. Assume I have a very big table. I have lakhs and lakhs of rows and columns. When I drag and drop, it may take 10 minutes or 5 minutes to create a report. Your system will be slower. But I want to make it as much faster. I want my system to be very faster. Then we can go for this sigma value. Sorry. Then we can go for the deferred layout update to make your system faster. If you want to create a report faster, you can defer and you can create a layout. Don't worry. All this option we are going to see today. All this option we will explore today. Okay. Got it? Clear? Any questions, doubts, queries on this? No? There are two reasons for not getting doubts. Doubts வராம இருக்குது ரெண்டு reason. What is two reasons? One is, if you understood everything, you will never get a doubt. Second one, nothing understood. ஒண்ணுமே புரியலனால doubt வராது. But the problem is you can understand everything here. The challenge will start after the training session is over. Evening, if you open a system and see everything will become a blank. So no other go. You have to practice, 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 and practice. Don't worry. Today and tomorrow we'll do more practice. Okay, is this clear? Can I close this screen? Maybe this, whatever I noted, can I close this? Okay, yes. Now let me create a report. What is the report we are going to create now is region wise, vehicle wise. Whatever I am saying wise, region wise and vehicle wise, whatever I am saying wise, you have to drag and drop it to the rows. Whichever you want to summarize it, whichever you want to summarize, I want sum of average cost, sum of material cost and other things. Whichever you want to summarize it, you have to drag and drop it to the sigma value. Okay, shall we do that? Region wise, let me drag that region and drop it. I recommend to drag and drop. Don't go to the left hand side and make a tick, because sometimes when you make a left hand side and make a check mark, we don't know where it will land. It may land into filter, it may land into columns, it may land into rows, it may land into sigma values also. Better don't go to the left hand side and make a tick. Some people are doing it. Sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not. So better to drag and drop. I will tell you when we can make a check mark. So drag that region and drop it to the rows. Yes, we got the region east, north, south, west. That's my region name. And vehicle name, I will drag and drop it to the rows again. So these are all the region. Under the region, electrical, hybrid, industrial, these are all the vehicle type. I want sum of conversion material cost. So let me drag that material cost and drop it to sigma values. But here we have one advantage. If you are 100% sure that this column is in a number format or this column is a general format, if you are 100% sure if this column is in a number or a general format, how to convert the format, how to make a data type, which we are going to learn in the later part. But if we are confirmed 100%, no need for dragging and dropping. You can make a check mark on this. No need for dragging and dropping. Just make a tick mark on this. For example, I want sum of conversion cost. Just make a check mark on this. I want overhead cost. Select the check mark on this. I want a net sales price. Check mark on this. And I want a contribution margin. Check on this. Yes. We got a small report. Region wise and vehicle wise. What is the sum of material cost, conversion cost, overhead cost, net sales price and contribution margin. Okay. Simple. Done. Clear? But my report is ready. I am not satisfied with the view of the report. Data should be correct, but I am not satisfied with the view of the report. Why I am not satisfied with the view of the report is, I want the region. Here I am getting the total on the top and data on the bottom. I want the data on the top and total on the bottom. And I want the region and this vehicle type should be in a separate column. So I want to rearrange my pivot. Place the cursor on the table. Place the cursor on the table. Go to the tab called as design. Under the tab of design, the first option itself available, subtotal. Could you tell me what is the option I am going to select under the subtotal now? Bottom of the group. Show all the subtotal at the bottom of the group. I want the subtotal to be on the bottom of the group. I don't want the subtotal on the top of the group. I want the subtotal on the bottom of the group. Show all the subtotal at the bottom of the group. Grand total. For some reasons, assume you don't want the grand total. You can switch off it also. but better to have it. When we can switch off the grand total, we learn in the next session. We learn in the next session when we can switch off it. Now let us go for, I'm not doing anything here. Grand total, let it be on. Report layout. I recommend all your report. I recommend whenever you create a report, I recommend your report to be in a tabular form. Try to have your report in a tabular form. I recommend always your report to be in a tabular. Report layout, show in tabular. So that I will get the region name in a separate column, vehicle type in a separate column. Okay. Electrical belongs to each region, hybrid belongs to each region, industrial belongs to each region. Instead of checking this, I want this east, 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 north, 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 south, south, south to be repeated here. So what we do? Report layout, then repeat all item label. Same item label will be repeated on the bottom. So first change the tabular form, then repeat the item label. Item label has to be repeated. All the option available under the design, it's very simple, it's very straightforward. You can check it also. Blank rows. What is this blank row? After each region, there will be a blank line. Blank row, insert a blank line. You can see after east region, after north region, after south region, there is a blank line in between. If you don't want, you can switch off that blank row. Remove the blank line. What is this row header? East, north, south, west is boulder. I don't want the PV boulder. I can remove the row header. Better to remove the row header. Column header, better to have the column header. Don't remove it. It's better to have the column header. So better to have it. Don't remove the column header. Banded rows. All the alternative rows are banded. First row, second row, third row, fifth row will be banded. I hope you would have been aware of it. In olden days, computer sheets are banded. Dot matrix printer. Before that, the computer sheets are banded. Gray, white, early days. Now we don't have the banded sheets. We can take a printout in banded sheets, right? Like this. Banded columns I don't recommend. If you want, you can have it. And colors and background and formatting, go to the design, pivot table styles. You can change the colors and backgrounds and format. Okay. But whatever we did now, I spent around 5 or 10 minutes to do the settings. Arrange it in a tabular form, repeat the item label, and grand total I want it on the bottom. And I want this, after each table, I want a blank line like this. So these are all the things I am doing it every time. Can I make this as a default? Do you have to do this every time? Yes, you have to do it every time if you are using the old version of Excel. Since we are using the latest version of Excel, we can convert this as a default. Whenever I create a report, I want that total to be displayed on the bottom. Whenever I create a report, I want the tabular form. Whenever I create a report, I want the item label to be repeated like this. So these are all the things I want to set it as a default whenever I create a pivot. So go to File. Just go to File. Under File, Option. File, Option. File, Option, Data. File, Options, Data, Edit Default Layout. Edit Default Layout. Click on the Edit Default Layout. It opens a dialog box. Here you can set the defaults. What are all the things you want? You can set this as the defaults here. Yes, you can see here there is a defaults option available. So whenever I create a report, I want this to be in a tabular form. So you can see the report layout is in tabular. I can make it as tabular. Or whenever I create a report, I want the subtotal to be on the bottom of the group. I can make it as a bottom of the group. So like this, whatever you want to do, you can do it here. Okay. So and you can say okay, or I repeat the item label. Whenever I create a report, item label to be repeated. Whenever I create a report, it should be a blank in between. So like this, you can set this as a default. So whenever you create a report, this will be your default. But as of now, I'm not setting it because since it's a training session, I'm not doing it. If you want, you can do this, but I'm not doing it. I'm clicking on cancel and I'm coming out of this. I'm not doing this. File, options, data, data, edit default layout. File, options, data, edit default layout. Okay. All the pivot after this. After this, whatever the pivot you are creating after this, it will be in this layout. Entire Excel. Entire Excel. After this, the entire Excel. Okay. Right. Now, I didn't set it as default. I cancelled and I came out of this. Now, could you tell me why East region is coming on the top, then I'm getting north, then I'm getting south, then I'm getting west. Is as per my source data. When I go to the source data, I'm getting north first, then east, north, south. It's not in a proper order. But why do I get the east region on the top here? What's the reason behind it? Alphabetically, it is sorted in order. Very good. But I don't want the east to come on the top. I want the south should come on the top. Three methods to do this. Three methods. Method number one, mouse. If you are 100% sure, if you are very conversant using mouse, do it. Otherwise, I prefer the second and third method. If you are 100% sure, if you are very well conversed in using the mouse, if you are confident in using the mouse, do it. Because why? Because if you are not doing it properly, if there is a error, you cannot undo it also. If there is a error, you cannot undo. So please be careful. If you are confirmed to do it, if you are not confirmed, don't do it. Follow the second or third method. So what's the first method is go to the south. On the south cell border, there is a plus symbol with the arrow mark. Four header with the arrow mark. Four header with the arrow mark. We call this as four header with the arrow mark. You should get that four header with the arrow mark. After getting this four header with the arrow mark, now drag this south and drop it before the east region. Drag and drop the south before the east region. Step number one. Drag and drop this before the east region. This is the first method. But please be careful. Please be careful. If you are making some error, you cannot undo it. So please be careful. If you are good in using mouse, do it. Otherwise, I didn't do any mistake, so I can undo it now. If you make a mistake, then there is a problem. Second method, that's very simple. I want the south should come on the top here. Just go to the top and type it with the correct spelling. SOUTH. South. Enter. Yes. South region comes to the top. That's very simple. So just go there and type what you want it on the first. So just I went to the top and I typed south. South is coming on the top. This is second method. I think this is easy compared to the earlier one. Correct? Second method. Third method. I don't like to type. Sometimes my spelling may not be right. I may not type it properly. Is there any simplest method? Yes. Now this north should come on the second position or north should come on the first. Right click on the north. Move north to the beginning. Move north up or down or end. Now is your wish. So right click on the north. It says move north to the beginning, move north upwards, move north downwards, or move north to the end. your wish. So for example, I want to move the north region just one step upward before the east. So let us say move north up. Third method. Okay. First method is dragging and dropping. Second method, typing. Third method, right click. Okay. Unfortunately, out of this three methods, you can use two methods only for this. Whatever you have dragged inside this rows, you can use the three methods. Whatever you are dragged inside the sigma, you can use only two methods. For example, this conversion cost, I want to come here. Material cost should go somewhere else here. Or I want to bring the contribution margin to the first level here. So what we do? First two methods. One is go to this conversion cost column, go to the corner here, drag and bring it before the material cost. Drag and drop and bring it before the material cost. Method 1. Method 2, go to the title and type the title and change it. For example, I don't want material cost, or copy and paste also. I want the conversion cost. Correct spelling, conversion cost. So conversion cost will come to the first, then material cost will go to the second. Either drag and drop or type it. Unfortunately, here you cannot use the right clicking move. That's not possible. So in this rows, you can use three methods, but in this sigma values, you can use only two methods. Drag and drop or type it. You cannot use right clicking and moving. Okay. There you go. Here you go. But sometimes it is too small. See? Oh. I told you not to do. Okay. Okay. Shall we move on?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So we got a table, we created a report, region wise, vehicle wise, what is the sum of conversion cost, material cost, overhead cost, sales price, and the contribution margin. Now, for example, This sum of contribution cost, I don't want to summarize it. I want to convert it as a maximum. I want to convert it as a minimum, average, count. I want to change the formula here. So what we do is right click on this, right click on this. When you make a right click, a menu is appearing. Under the menu, two important submenus are available. Summarize value by, show value as. We'll see both. Show value as is a very, very, very important concept. We'll see it later. Now let us go to the sorry, summarize value by. Right click on this and go to summarize value by. You can see there is some average, count, maximum, minimum product. Unfortunately, there is one option. Maybe in your system you may not get this. There is something called as distinct count. We'll get it tomorrow. After creating the power pivots and power queries, we will use this distinct count. Now that may not be available. So you have to select some other formula. Count, average, maximum, minimum. For example, I want to count. Right click, summarize value by, and I'll go to count. So it says what is the count of. In South region, electric is 18. We have made 18 invoices. South region hybrid is 21. South region industrial is 25. It shows the count. And also your heading has changed automatically as a count of contribution margin. So right click, summarize value by, we changed into count. Now I want the sum again. I want the sum again, not here. Here we can change the sum into count, count into sum means right click again and go to summarize value by and make it as sum. That's okay. But what I want is, I want count as well as I want the sum again here. One more extra column, I want the sum also here. So what we do, drag this contribution margin and drop it to sigma value again, maybe at the last or middle or wherever you want. Drag and drop the contribution margin to the sigma value again. Yes. Now I'm getting the count as well as I'm getting the sum. Okay. I repeat the process again. First it looks like this. Right click on it. Summarize value by. We are changing to count. Now I want the sum. Drag and drop the contribution margin and bring it here. So we got the count as well as we got the sum. Both are available. If you feel this layout is not good, I'm not able to drag it, some screen size it's very small, I'm not able to drag it, you can change your layout also. On the pivot table fields, there is a gear symbol, tools. Click on the arrow mark of the gear symbol and you can change your layout. So by default, the layout is field area is stacked one below and one on the left, another one on the right. Then I can select this. Field sections area side by side. So now it will be on the side by side. This will be here and the filter rows, columns will be here. So you can rearrange. So now you will get some space. So go to that settings. Or field only means it will show you only the field. Only you can drag and drop it here on the table. You can drag and drop it here on the table also. So click on this area 2:2, 1:4. But I recommend either first or second is okay. First or second. First is by default stacked. Second is side by side. Any one is okay. Right? Right click, summarize value by, we'll make it as, suppose I want to make it as average here. Right click, summarize value by, we'll convert this into an average. Now tell me, I want the sum again here. I want the sum again here. How can I get the sum again? Once again, drag and drop the profit margin to the sigma. So we got all the three here. We are getting the count, we are getting the average, we are getting the sum also. So one column we can get multiple. Next we'll see how to find the percentage, how to create our own formulas without disturbing the pivot, how to create our own formulas. Can you tell me here for the average that 39 11.111, 377 point something. I want to make this all the decimal into a equal one. I want only 2 decimal points. How can I convert this into 2 decimal points? Below general, home tab. This one, you are saying this. You have to either increase or decrease the percentage. Very good. That's one method. Another method. No. I want only 2 decimal places, not show values. Show values is different. We'll see that. I want only two. Values should be same. I want only 2 decimal places. So please note down some 6 shortcut keys. One is you can change the format manually. Select this column, use the shortcut key, Control 1. Control 1 is the shortcut key for format cells. Select the column and go to, how do you select? What is the easiest way to select this column? You can go to the column top here. There is an arrow mark appearing on the column, down arrow. If I click, that column will get selected. Okay, go to the top and I click on that column will get selected. Now you can press Control 1, the shortcut key for format cells. Here you can change your format, number, currency, accounting, whatever the format you want. That's one method. Control 1, go to format cells and change it. Or as I told, note down the shortcut keys. Control Shift 1. Control Shift 1 is the shortcut key for number format. It's the shortcut key for number format with 2 decimal places. Number format with 2 decimals. I want the number format with 2 decimals. So let me select this column and I select the column, Control Shift 1. You can see I am getting a number with 2 decimals, only 2 decimals, 3911.11, 3771.43, 2 decimals. Control Shift 1 is the shortcut key to convert a number into 2 decimal points. Control Shift 2 is the shortcut key for time format. Time, if you want a time format, anyway, we are not going to use the time format now. Time format. Control Shift 3, date format. We'll see about the date in the later session. Control Shift 3, date. 4 and 5, it's very easy to remember. 4. What is there above 4 on your keyboard? Above 4. Dollar. Dollar represents currency. Very good. Currency. Now, for example, let us select this contribution margin. I want a currency symbol before that. So, Control Shift 4. Yes. You will get that currency with the comma separators. Currency with comma separators. 70,400. Before that, you are getting that Indian currency symbol. But if you don't want that Indian currency symbol, can I get some other euro, dollar? First press Control Shift 4. First press Control Shift 4. Then press Control 1. First Control Shift 4. Then Control 1. Change your symbols. Whatever the symbol you want. Euro, dollar, various other currency formats are available. I don't know what you are getting by default. You are getting Indian currency format or dollar? Dollar. Then your system format is, if you are getting dollar, then manually you have to change it. Control Shift 4 first, then Control 1, change it. If you are getting some other currency, if you unchain only the symbols can be changed, not the comma separators. Comma separators as per your window settings. Only the currency symbol can be changed. Control Shift 4. Control Shift 5. I hope you would have guessed it. Above 5 we have percentage. So control shift 5 is for percentage format. We'll see where we can use this percentage. Now the percentage is not required. Control shift 5 is percentage. The last one, I want, for example, this is okay, this is currency, and here some other, maybe this net sales price. I selected the net sales price and I converted into control shift 1. So 2,73,300.00. Here all are zero zeros. I don't want the zero zeros. I want to remove the zero zeros. I want only the number without the decimal places. I want to remove the decimal places. We have to remove the decimal places. On your keyboard, below the escape key, above the tab key, below escape or above the tab, left hand side of 1. I told you everything. Below escape, above the tab, left of 1, like a wave symbol. Control shift tilde. Control shift. You have to press control shift tilde. A number format without decimals. Without decimals. And within bracket I am putting, if the decimal is 0. If the decimal is 0, if 0, this will work. What I mean is, here I have 2,72,300. We have .00. Then I can press control shift tilde or tilde. That 0 will get removed. But if I go to the average of this contribution margin, I don't have a 00 after the decimal place. If I press control shift tilde, it will not work. It will not remove the decimal places. So if you want the decimal places to be removed, if .00, if you have .00, that 00 has to be removed. If you have the decimal places, then we can use this control shift tilde. There is some value after decimal places. If you want to remove it, then this control shift tilde may not work. Okay? 6 shortcut keys. Number format, time format, date format, currency format, percentage format, and the number without decimal places. Got it? Whenever I time permits, basic Excel will see all the shortcut keys, but whenever I time permits, I will teach you some shortcut keys. Okay. Right? So we got count of contribution margin. We have converted the sum. We have converted the sum into count, count into average. Then we have converted the sum also. Now, I want to know which region has more percentage of margins. South region or north region or east. Which region has more percentage of my value? Which region has more percentage? So, we have to convert this into a percentage. Right click on the sum of contribution margin. Always find the percentage based on sum. Find the percentage based on sum. Don't find the percentage based on the count or average or maximum. Don't do it. Always find it based on the sum. Don't find it based on the count or average. Right click on sum of contribution margin. Right click on sum of contribution margin. Show value as. Show value as. Under the show value as, there are various options. We have to explore all the important options. We cannot explore everything. We'll see one of this today, tomorrow also. Right click, show value as. Under show value as, the second one, percentage of grand total. Percentage of grand total. Right click, show value as. Percentage of grand total. Yes. Out of 100 percentage, south region is 22, north region is 20, and east region is 30, west region is 26 percentages. right click, show value as percentage of grand total. But unfortunately, when I convert the sum into count, heading is getting changed. When I convert the sum into average, heading is getting changed. When I convert the sum into percentage, unfortunately, heading is not changing. No other go. You have to change the heading manually. Go to the top of the heading and you have to change the heading here. Go there and type it manually and change the heading manually. You have to manually change your heading. This is a challenge when you change the sum show value as. When you change show value as, you have to manually change the heading. Okay, heading will not get changed automatically. How can I get a sum again here? I want the next column, I want the sum again. Drag the contribution margin and drop it to sigma. Yes. We got the count, we got the average, we got the percentage, and we got the sum also. We'll see how to create our own formulas next. Okay? Clear? Right. So we got the count, we got the average, we got the percentage, we got the sum. Now assume I want to create my own formula. But personally, I recommend if you are going to create, stop using formulas and functions in Excel. Stop using formulas and functions in Excel. Whatever the formula, it can be lookup, if, or anything. Lookup, Excel will not handle a very big data. To create a report, Excel is okay. To create a chart, Excel is okay. Stop writing formulas and functions. For example, assume from the contribution margin, I want to find out what is my discount, what is my tax. Just for example, from the contribution margin, I want to calculate 5% is my discount value. So normally what people will do is they will create an extra column here, multiply 5% in contribution margin and copy it on the bottom. That's what people normally do, just a multiply formula. This table is very small, okay, I have around 290 rows, no problem. But assume your table is too large, I have some 2 lakh rows. So when I create an extra column, it may slow down your system speed. Avoid creating the formulas and function. If you want to write a formulas and function, arithmetical formulas and function, prefer to do it in pivot. Other formulas like text formula, date function, and other things, prefer to create in Power Query. Stop using formulas and function in Excel. Now I want to do some arithmetical calculation. We don't know the power pivots and Power Query. We'll see it later. Now I want to do some arithmetical calculation. As I told, I want 5% of the profit margin without writing the formulas and function. What is the advantage of writing the formulas and function in pivot and Power Queries? It doesn't increase your file size. It doesn't disturb your system speed. Virtually, it will create an extra column. Very faster, very efficient. So in Power BI, we will create a measure for it. But in pivot, 2 methods to do it. Place the cursor on the table. Go to the tab called as Analyze. Field items and sets. Analyze field items and sets. Calculated field. Analyze field items and sets. Calculated field. Method 1. Method number 2. Shortcut key. Control Shift plus. Control Shift plus is the shortcut key. Go to Analyze field items and sets. Calculated field. Method 1. Method number 2, Control Shift plus. I always prefer shortcut keys, but you can use anything. I prefer shortcut keys. Analyze field items and sets, calculated field. Since I want to show it on the screen, that's why I am using mouse. Otherwise, I prefer to use the shortcut key, calculated field. What is the name of that field? Let us give some name. Maybe the name of the field is discount. The name of the field is discount. And what's the formula? After this, from today, from now, forget your cell numbers. Please forget A1, B1, C1, forget it. From now, it's going to be only your column names in Power Queries, Power Pivots, Power BIs, everywhere. It's going to be your column name. Forget your cell numbers. I want to write a formula, 5% into multiply. 5% into multiply it with what? Contribution margin. If you know the spelling, type the spelling. But in column names, if you have a space in between, you have to type the column name with a single quote and type it with the exact spelling. You have to put a single quote and type it. But instead, I think your table name is already available. Your column name is already available here. Contribution margin, double click or click and insert. Click and insert the field or double click on it. Click and insert it or double click on it. Whichever is easier. Click and insert it or double click on it. I recommend double clicking is better. 5% into multiply it with contribution margin. Double click. Yes, it is added here. Add and OK. Add and OK. Don't straight away say OK. Add and OK. So let us say add and I say OK. Yes. You can see there is a column created which is showing 5% of my contribution margin. Without disturbing your source data, when you go to the original source, nothing has happened to your source table. Your source table is retaining as it is. Nothing has happened here. Virtually, it has created an extra column called as discount. Without disturbing your data, we have created a separate column. Analyze field items and sets, calculated field. Give a field name and give your formula here. Since I already created the formula, can I see it now? Can I edit it? Can I delete it? Field items and sets, calculated field. There is an arrow mark available here. You can see a small arrow is appearing here. Click on the arrow and your formula name is available there. Click it. Yes, you can see your formula is displayed here. Modify or delete. If you don't want the formula, you can go for delete. Or if you want to change, suppose instead of 5%, I want to make it as 6, you can modify it here. Modify and delete. But I'm not going to do anything, just I click on close. So try to create a formula inside a pivot. If it is arithmetical calculation, mathematical arithmetical calculation. If you want to do some text and date, we can do it in Power Query. We'll do it in the later part. Okay. Can you show me the formula again? 5% star. Field items and sets, calculated field. There is arrow mark, 5% into that column name. If you want to put 0.05 also, you can do it. Both are same. 0.05 nala 5% rendu one thane. Both are same. If you want to put 0.05 also, okay. Yes. Now tell me this. Pivot table has so many advantages, but it has one limitation, one disadvantage. I cannot change the data inside a pivot table. For example, the south region electrical is 47,200. If I'm trying to change, you cannot change it. We can't change the part of the pivot. If you want to change, we have to change it in your table. So let me go to the source table, but I don't know where is the data available. Let me filter. How can I apply the filter to my source table? What is the shortcut key for applying a filter? Control Shift L. Very good. Control Shift L. Now let us filter the, what is the first? South region. I will filter the south region. Under south, what is the first one? Electric. Electric, I'll filter it here. And the material cost, what is the material cost? 47,200. So let me select the material, sorry, conversion cost. So let me select the conversion cost and I check it on the bottom. It is correct, 47,200, perfectly correct. It's matching. But now I am going to change it. Instead of 1,200, assume I'm changing it to 1,500. And I go back to my pivot, whether it will get updated on the pivot. Whenever I make some changes, whether it will get updated on the pivot table. Unfortunately, it will not get updated. So what has to be done? How can I refresh it? Right click, refresh, or pivot analysis and refresh, or you can use the shortcut key. The shortcut key for refreshing is Alt F5. Some keyboards you have to press Alt function F5 also to refresh it. Alt F5 to refresh your pivot. Okay. Or if you forget to refresh, assume I don't know how to refresh, I forgot to refresh. Even I forgot to refresh also, my pivot table has to be refreshed automatically. No problem. Right click, pivot table option. Right click, pivot table option. Data. Right click, pivot table option. Data. Under data, you can see there is a checkbox. Refresh data when opening the file. So even if I forget to refresh also, my pivot table will get refreshed automatically whenever you open the file. Right click, pivot table option, then data. Under data, you can see the refresh data when opening the file. Even if you forget to refresh also, your pivot table will get refreshed automatically. Okay. For this file, for this table. If I want this to make for all my table, then file, then option, data, super, then edit default layout, excellent, then pivot table option, super, then data, perfect. Refresh data when opening the file. So if I do this, your pivot table will get refreshed automatically for the next upcoming files. This file, if I did here, just to make a right click and do it here, that's only for this file. Right click and pivot table option and this data, refresh data whenever you open the file. This is only for this file. If you want to do it for all the files, then you have to go to pivot table options and do it. But today or tomorrow we'll see, even you can make a scheduled refresh. Every 1 hour it has to be refreshed automatically. Every 1 hour it has to refresh. That also can schedule it. But I think Microsoft is coming with this. The trial run is already over and is done. They have told this will appear in August 2025, but still it is not available. I think you can see here 5 new features. This is in August 2025. What Microsoft has told us, auto refresh of your pivot table. So there will be a button called as auto refresh. So whenever you add the data, that will get updated automatically to your report. There will be a button called as auto refresh here. On the top, on the pivot table analyze, you can see the pivot table analyze. There will be a button called as auto refresh. Not available as of now. Let us see. We are expecting sooner. Some trial run is going on. I think I don't know when it will come. They told that it will come in August. Still, it's not there. Even I don't know why or when. ஜனநாயகன் மாதிரி வருமா வராதா எப்போ வரும்னு தெரியாது. ரெடியா இருக்கு, ஆனா எப்போ வரும்னு தெரியாது. Same here also. It was ready. They promised that it will appear in August, but still it's not. Okay. Tell me, I have filtered the table. How can I get back my table without removing? I want to clear the filter, not removing the filter. I want to clear the filter. How do we clear a filter? Control Shift L will remove the filter. There is a difference. Remove a filter, but I want filter should be that. I want data back again. Alt AC. That's the best method to clear the filter. Alt AC is the best method for clearing the filter. There is a difference between clearing and removing, correct? I hope you understood the difference between clearing and removing. Removing means totally filter will go off. Clearing means filter will be there, data will be, you will get the data back again. That is removing and clearing. What if you add a new data at the last, will it get updated on my pivot table? If I add a new data, suppose I am getting a new region here, central region. If I add a new data, will it get updated on my pivot? No. Then? We have to it has to be resized. Oh, I thought you should have been aware of this. Two methods. Tomorrow we'll see using, today we'll see using the Power Query. Now I will remove the filter. Control Shift L. According to me, morning everyone has said basics of Excel. That's a very question mark. What is basics itself is a very big question mark, correct? Which is basics we don't know. Opening a file is basics. But in one training program, I got a different answer. One person has told, whatever I know is basics, whatever I don't know is advanced. Number simple. Basics, advanced. But according to me, why I am saying this is, according to me, what I am going to say next is the basics of Excel. So if you want to use Power App and Power Automate in the future, so this has to be done. Morning, someone has told it. You have to convert your table into official Excel dynamic table. How can I convert this table into official Excel dynamic tables? There is a shortcut key, Control T or Control L. If Microsoft is giving two shortcut key means it's a very important feature. If they are giving two shortcut keys, it's a very, very important feature. This Control T and Control L is a very important feature. Table. You have to convert it as a dynamic table. I will tell you what is the advantage. First we will convert, then I will tell you what is the advantage of this dynamic table. Control T or Control L. Place the cursor on this table. Control T or Control L. Where is the data of the table? My data of the table is automatically selected. Just to click on OK to convert this table into an official Excel dynamic table. Now this table was converted into official Excel dynamic table. What is the advantage of this is, first advantage is filtering is automatically applied. Coloring, background formatting is automatically applied. But when I scroll down to a table, I may not see the heading on the top. If you want to see the heading on the top, normally what we do? Freeze பண்ணுவோம். But here, since it's a dynamic table, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I is your Excel heading. Just to scroll down to the bottom, my table heading will become the Excel heading itself. Auto freezing. The table is freezed automatically. Tanave freeze. No need to freeze. Even the filter is freezed. Filter is traveling along with your table. Filter is traveling along with your table. Thought this is very basic. You know this. The basics of Excel. Not part of my session itself. I thought you should have been aware of this. Same thing. Insert table or go to home format as a table. Control Q table. There are several methods. So First advantage is filtering, formatting, freezing, filter freezing, color background and formatting is updated. Now after converting this as a dynamic table, now I am going to add a new data. For example, let me add something like central region. I'm going to add a new region here, central region. Fresh a new region add panni check pannu whether it's working or not. I'm adding a central region. Maybe I'll copy the same data, control D, control D, control D, just for checking. Maybe I'll add something here, material cost, and I'll add some conversion cost. I add some overhead cost, and I will add some net price, sales price. So I added a new data. Now go to your pivot table. I added a new data. Now we have to right click refresh or alt F5 refresh. Yes. Now you can see the new region is already updated here. No need to extend. No need to extend your table. If you convert your table into a dynamic table, if you add a new data, it will get updated automatically to your pivot table also. This is the next advantage of your dynamic table. You see 3 or 4 advantages of the dynamic table. Then I will tell you how to convert the table into a normal table also. 3-4 advantages. We will explore that advantages also. How do we control T, control L? அப்படியே பண்ணா நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணணும், அவர் சொன்ன மாதிரி இதில் போய் ரேஞ்ச் எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ணணும். அது ஒவ்வொரு தடையும் பண்ண முடியும். எவ்ரிடே ஐம் ஆடிங் சம் டேட்டா, எவ்ரிடே ஐ கேனாட் அப்டேட் இட். இந்த டேபிளை பேஸ் பண்ணி ஐ வுட் கிரியேட் 10 pivot. 10 pivotல போய் டெய்லி யூ ஹேவ் டு எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் யுவர் ரேஞ்ச். பட் ஹியர் இட் வில் கெட் அப்டேட். By today evening or tomorrow, we'll see how to make the scheduled refresh also. Every 1 hour it has to be refreshed. No need for us to refresh it manually. Every 1 hour, every 10 minutes, the data will get refreshed automatically. We'll see that by today or tomorrow. Okay? So from today, from now, I recommend all your table to be a very good. Please, my request is after this training session, explore Power App and Power Automate. BA use பண்றீங்களா? BA is for totally for dashboards and reporting. If you are comfortable in reporting, creating a report in Excel, that's okay. Or if you want to create more dashboard, more visualization, try to start using Power BIs and try to start using Power App and Power Automate. Power App, you can create your own application. You are managing a people. Your team ஒரு 10 பேர் 20 பேர் இருக்காங்க. Assume that for HR, every day they are putting some attendance. Instead of putting the attendance, they can do it on the mobile. It will be automatically saved on your system. Daily material request, vehicle incoming, visitor request, எல்லாத்தையுமே you can create a form. You can create your own forms without writing codings. Automation. Most of the things can be automated. நிறைய விஷயங்கள் daily, if you are doing some activity frequently, using the Power Automate, do the automation. No need for coding here. So everything you can do it. It's very simple. Just type powerautomate.com. You can see there are some flows. So no coding. Just for example, I will show you some coding. Small example here. Maybe whenever someone is submitting a form through a Teams or some forms, what I have to do is, whenever a form is submitted, I will get the form and I will put it onto my chat, Teams chat. I will send a mail to someone else. Or form submit பண்ணாலே automatically a mail to be triggered. Automatically it should be saved in Excel. But no codings. Just like a button, we are clicking. Very useful tool, Power Automate. Please explore this tool. You are all using Office 365. Still, if you are not using Power Automate and Power App, very a crime. It's a very big crime if you are not using this tool. If you are using the older version, if you are not using, I will excuse you. But if you are using 360, please start using this. Please start using these tools. The tools la use panna arming. It's very useful, very powerful tools. It is inbuilt along with your Microsoft Office. This is Power Automate. There is something called as Power App also. Please explore the tools. The tools la explore panna arming. At least after this training session. So nowadays I can see I am getting more trainings on பார்த்தீங்கன்னாலே தெரியும் லிஸ்ட்டில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மோர் ட்ரைனிங்ஸ் எய்தர் ஆன் பிஐ ஆர் பவர் ஆப் ஆர் பவர் ஆட்டோமேட்டில் தான் ஐ ஹவ் மோர் ட்ரைனிங்ஸ். People have started using Power App. I'm living here. I'm handling this training. I'm so long for the training session is because of Microsoft Excel. Excel all தான் எனக்கு வாழ்க்கையை ஓடிட்டு இருக்கு. But nowadays I'm saying try to come out of Excel gradually. Try to use Power Queries, Power App, Power Automates. அதெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ண ஆரம்பி. Come out of Excel. I thought that Excel will be living when the data is available. Data இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் Excel வாழ்ந்துட்டே இருக்கும்னு நினைச்சேன். But now gradually it's dying out. So you also come out of Excel while creating a pivot. That's okay. If you don't use Power BI, you want to create a pivot table and other things, then use Excel. Otherwise, for analyzing your data, for creating that formula, function, automating, try to use the tools.
Power apps input
தாராளம் எக்ஸலையும் வச்சுக்கலாம்.
Power apps input
அதான் சொல்றேன், எக்ஸல்லையும் வச்சுக்கலாம், ஷேர் பாயிண்ட்ல வச்சுக்கலாம், எக்ஸல் வச்சுக்கலாம். You can have it anywhere. Excel also can be your input. Excel as an input, you can create a app in Power App. CSV கூட வச்சுக்கலாம் input. TXT கூட வச்சுக்கலாம் input. Your input can be anything, any database in the world. If it is a table wise, row column இருந்தா you can treat it as a database. நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி நம்ம யூஸ் பண்றது Excel தான். So we can use Excel. Okay. Sorry, before the lunch break. Actually, this training is totally task based. I will do some activity. After this, you will do some activity. Based on the activity, you will get some scores. Cricket Murray 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top performer, you will get some certification also. But I think we cannot do it before the lunch break. I thought of starting before the lunch break. If there is no dynamic table, I thought of giving a task before the lunch break. But no problem. We'll learn this. We'll finish up this, at least this dynamic table. I think we are in dynamic table, right? What are all the advantages we are seeing in the dynamic table? One is auto filter, auto format, auto freeze, auto filter freeze. The last one we have seen is auto update. When I add the row, it is getting updated automatically. We'll see another 2 or 3 advantages in this dynamic table. Now, for example, I want to bring a grand total for this. I want to know what is the grand total for this contribution margin. I want to bring what is the grand total of this contribution margin. Normally, to find the grand total, what we will do is we will use the sum function. We'll use the auto sum, correct? Or alt equal to shortcut key. But since it's a dynamic table, go to the table design. Under the table design, there is a checkbox called as total row. You can see this contextual tab called as table design, contextual. When you will see it, when you place the cursor on the table, you will see it. If you are not placing the cursor, you will not see this. Place the cursor on the table, go to the table design, select this total row, or use the shortcut key, Control Shift T. Either use the shortcut key, Control Shift T, or go to the table design and tick the total row. Just tick mark on this total row. Let us make a tick mark on the total row, or Control Shift T. Automatically, it's giving the total on the bottom here. You can see you are getting the total on the bottom. But you can ask me, what is the purpose of this? What is the usage of this? I can use alt equal to, I can use the sum function to get it. Why to put this into dynamic table, then find the total? What is the advantage and what is the purpose? First advantage is, if I filter by table, suppose I am filtering only a particular region. I am filtering only the north region and say okay. The total will be for subtotal. Okay, that's the advantage of this total row. When I filter, it shows the sum of the filtered record, subtotal. So south region means south region's total, north region means north region total. How can I clear the filter? Alt A C. Very good. This is the first advantage. Next advantage is, whatever you filter, it's giving the grand total, it's giving the subtotal, that's okay. But now, I don't, for this contribution margin, I don't want the total. Can I get the sum? Can I get an average? Can I get a maximum, minimum? Very simple. click here. There is an arrow mark available on this. Click on the arrow mark and change your formulas. Whether you want a sum or a count or an average or a maximum or a mean. Whatever the formula you want, you can change your formula. Suppose I don't want the sum, I want an average. Or this column I want an average. Previous column I want a sum. So go to the previous column and change it to sum. Go to the previous column, I want to change it to count. You can change it to count. So any formulas, you can go there and you can change your formulas. இதெல்லாம் work ஆகும் if it is a dynamic table. Auto filter, auto freeze, auto format, auto update, automatic grand total, automatic subtotal, automatically changing your formulas also. Now, but this I don't recommend, but still we can do it. How can I remove that subtotal column? I don't want the subtotal row. How do we remove it? Our shortcut key is to get that grand total. We use the shortcut key. Control Shift T. Same Control Shift T. That will remove your grand total also on the bottom. The grand total will get removed here on the bottom. The grand total will get removed. So once again you want it back. Control Shift T. Control Shift T. It will remember your formulas also. Now, I want to write a new formula. Already I told you I recommend not to write a formulas in Excel. If you want to write mathematical calculation or anything, use it in Pivot or use it in Power Query. But I want to write a formula. Assume I want to write a formula. Just for example, this material cost plus conversion cost. I want a formula here. Material cost plus conversion cost. I want to write a formula. So normally to write the formula, we'll go to the first cell, we'll write the formula and we copy the formula on the bottom. Correct? But since it's a dynamic table, I'm not going to write the formula on the first cell. I can write the formula somewhere else in the middle also. In the middle, somewhere else, I'm going to write the formula. Just as this material cost plus the conversion, material plus conversion or if function, or function, VLOOKUP function, anything you can write it here. For example, I'll write the formula equal to, as I told, from now, forget the cell numbers. It's only your column names. Equal to, I select this column, this cell. It automatically takes the material cost plus something. I'm writing some function. This plus this minus this into this, any formula. Material cost plus this conversion cost. Now what we are going to do is just to press enter. Your formula will get copied automatically. No need to copy your formulas also. End verikum தானாவே copied. Automatically your formulas is copied till the end. No need to copy, paste, dragging, double clicking, nothing is required. It copies your formulas automatically. If your table is a dynamic table. Auto copy. So no need to copy your formulas. Now the two advantages we'll see, then we'll see how to make this table as a normal table. Fortunately, these options are available from 2003 of Microsoft Excel. 3 years you have not used it. But coloring and other things looks much good in latest version. Old version, this feature is available. Still you are manually updating your pivot table. இதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பவர் கோரிங் நேராக ஜம்ப் பண்ணலான்னு பார்த்தேன். Okay. Place the cursor somewhere else on the top of the table. Top means first two rows, second row, third row, fourth. Don't place it at the last, or don't place it somewhere else in the middle, because the next option you cannot see it physically. That's the reason. I'm asking you to place the cursor somewhere else on the first row, second row, anywhere else on the first row, second row, anywhere else on the table. Go to the table design. Go to the table design. Under the table design, insert slicer. insert slicer. Today afternoon, today or tomorrow also, based on the slicer only, we are going to make a dashboard. We are going to make a dashboard using this slicer. So go to the design, insert slicer, and it's asking for which you want a slicer. For example, normally to filter, here we will go to the filter and manually we will use the filter, but go to the design, insert slicer. I select that sales region. Assume for the region I want the slicer, and I say okay. Yes, a slicer was inserted. Drag the slicer outside your table. Bring it outside. Don't place it on the table. Bring it outside your table. That's it. Now it's very simple. Someone wants to see the region, South region data. Click on South. It shows only the report for South. Click on North. It shows only the report of North. West region. So whatever you click, based on that, the reports are changing here on your table. Interactively, you can present your reports. Okay. The slicer based on how to make a dashboard, which we'll see it in today afternoon. How can I get back my data again? There is a button called as clear filter. But could you tell me, I want the south and north together again. I want to select south as well as north. Normally we'll use the control key for selecting, but there is an option available, multi-select. This one, multi-select. Switch on that multi-select. Select the north and select south. No need for holding the control key, just select multiple items like this. So you can select multiple items like this. If I select the multi-select option, let me insert one more. Place the cursor on the table. Table design. Insert slicer. Table design, insert slicer. For example, for the vehicle name or commodity group or something, I want to insert a slicer. Maybe let us take the vehicle. Select vehicle. Okay. A slicer is created for vehicle also. If I select South region, under South region, I want to see only the electric. So select electric. Under South, we are getting only the electric. You can apply a multi-slicer also. If you don't like the slicer, if you don't want the slicer, then very simple, select the slicer on your keyboard, press delete. Press delete to remove the slicer. Some people likes to have the slicer not vertically or horizontally. For example, I'll put this vehicle slicer. So this is top to bottom. I want a slicer should be like this, left to right, like a tile, like a tile. Like a tile. Select the slicer. Decrease the height of the slicer. The width of the slicer. Decrease the height and increase the width. And on the top slicer, below the slicer tab, you can see now the tab is contextual tab is slicer because we have selected the slicer. Right hand side you can see columns. It says column is 1. I want 3 columns because I have 3 vehicle type. Let me increase it to 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Now you can see 3 columns are available. You can see the slicer like this, vertical, horizontal. So I can click it like this, electrical, hybrid, industrial. Okay. You can have a slicer vertically as well as horizontally also. And change the color of the slicer. Top layer, you can change the color. Slicer, what is the color of this slicer? You can put a different color for this slicer. This slicer, you can put a different color to have a better view. One advantage we'll see before the break, and we'll see how to make this as a normal table also. Finally, we'll finish up that. Now, how we give a name for a page, how we give a name for a sheet, how we give a name for a file. We can give a name for a table also. Place the cursor on the table. table design. But when you come to Power App and Power Automate, this naming is very vital. Pivot table also, the naming is also very vital. We'll see that. Design, table design. Under the table design side, you can see this is the name of your table, table 1. When you create a sheet, it will be sheet 1, sheet 2. When you create a book, book 1, book 2. Similarly, the name of this table is table 1. You can give some other name, meaningful name, but no space, no special characters allowed. Space irukudadu, special character kuda. No space, no special character. It should start with the alphabet. It should start with the alphabet. So let us say, I will say region. Region wise, what is my profit margin? So region wise, I'm saying what is my margin here. So I'm giving some meaningful name for it. So no space, no special characters. Don't give a space, don't give a special characters. Enter. Just press enter to accept it. Your name will be displayed only on the top. Yes. So this is the name of this table. What is the purpose? When you create a dashboard, we'll see what is the purpose of it. But now, the basic purpose of naming is, I am in sheet number 6. I want to go to that first sheet, first table. I don't know where is the table available. And the table enga irukune theriyadu. No problem. Go to this name box. You can see this name box. Arrow mark of the name box. Click on the arrow mark. You can see your table name is displayed. Click it. Select your table. From anywhere, you can select your table also. From anywhere, you can jump to the table. Go to any sheet. Go to this name box. And the table will get selected. Okay. The final one, how to make this table as a normal table. I don't recommend to convert it as a normal table. Always it's better to have a dynamic table. Your system will be very faster, efficient. You have so many advantages in dynamic table. But if you want to make it as a normal table, two methods. Design, table design, convert to range. Table design, convert to range. Method 1. Method 2. Right click on the table, convert to range. Right click on the table, convert to range. This is method 1. Method 2, method 1 is table design, convert to range. This is method number 2. It will ask you whether you want to convert the table into a normal table. If you say yes, it will be converted. Nothing will happen to your data. Data will be as it is. Color background formatting will be as it is. The color background format data will be as it is, but other things will get deleted. Freezing, filtering, slicer, everything will go off. It will become a simple normal table. Right click, table, convert. It's asking, do you want to convert the table into a normal table? Yes. Normal will go off and it will become a plain simple table now. No freezing, no filtering, no format, no updation, no slicer. It will become a normal table. How can I convert it back to a dynamic? Control T or Control L. You have to insert it again. Immediately means you can undo it. Control Z will work. But later means insert table, but slicer and other things you have to insert it again. So we have completed the exercise number 1. I thought of at least completing 2 or 3 exercises before the break. No problem. It's not required. We have to run fast and finish all the concept. We can go slow and you have to understand the concept. That's more important. As I told, it's more task based. By today evening, we have to complete all the 6 exercises. We have to start Power Query by today evening. Maximum by 5:36 we have to start. Okay, with all your cooperation, because it's not a theory. It's not lecturing. You have to practice, practice and practice. Right? Save your files. I think we'll break, lunch break. After the lunch break, you are going to do the exercise number 2. It's a task based, scoring based. You'll get a certification based on this with Microsoft logo. So take it seriously. Try to come on time. I'm stopping that video recording. I'm not pausing. I'm stopping.